Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Library of Ruina reaction. Like I said last time, I'm going to be giving two a shot in the same video this time, and it is going to be Malkuth and Netzach's battle theme. Apparently this shares some similarities, like a motif with the Had and Yesod battle theme that I've already listened to separately, so I'm expecting to at least recognize a little bit in these songs, but I don't think they're going to sound exactly the same. Every song I've heard up to this point has like some unique identity to it, always tied back to the character, and I'm sure you all know that. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to hear what those differences are right now. Let's go! Ooh, we get jazzy immediately. Ooh. This is like casino core. Vibing with this piano. It's just so smooth with it. Ooh. That was an interestingly jazzy chord in there. They keep throwing in some like really curveball sounds for me. Ooh. Okay, this must be like a second phase then. That was pretty smooth. We sped up a little bit, so it's gotta be a second phase. Some of their chord runs are really fun. And to the loop. Okay. That was an absolute blast, in as short of a time as that was really fun. So this one was just light, poppy, and fun. Definitely a lot of jazzy influence on there. Some of those chord choices, again, were really, really fun and kind of creative, like more than I expected. Some hit some really dissonant, chunky chords in there that I was like, whoa, where's that coming from? And apparently there are 3 phases, but I guess I heard the transition from 2 to 3. I didn't even notice there was a second phase. It was just so smooth on the transition that I didn't even hear it. So like, that's impressive in its own right, but this song is just fun. I think that that's gotta reflect, again, the character that they end up writing for here is almost always very reflective of the song they have, and like that's I'm going with somebody who's just like got a vibe to him that's just kind of always bopping, you know, like always has like this uplifting spirit. Maybe I don't know how that would fit in a game that I only know to be fairly depressing, but I do know some of the characters aren't all depressing all the time, so maybe there's some room there for that. But this really just feels like somebody who's just walking down the street like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna mess up my stride kind of energy. That's probably just the jazziness in there. It feels a little Vegas, a little casino, like I said. Definitely that like 2000s era of casino music and a lot of video games. Definitely what that's reminding me of, and I really think that that's exactly the character type. Again, not positive as always, because there could always be a gap in how they portray these characters. Sometimes they might be doing a misnomer sort of thing where the character is the exact opposite of that. Maybe this is somebody who's really depressing all the time. Maybe there's a reason that they're depressed, but like this is, to me at least, just on the surface, somebody who's really unbothered by a lot, and like probably should be more bothered, but could truly not be asked to be bothered by anyone or anything going on right now. I think this feels more like a character theme more than a battle theme. This is definitely something I would expect to be related to a location more than a person. So I think that that's kind of what's throwing me off a little bit, if anything, but it's still a fun song. And if it's the way that they wanted to portray the battle, you won't see me complaining. So I guess we have to hear what Netzach's sound is, but that sounds too much like Nutsack. Can I be real? I'm gonna call him Netzach because I feel like that's a little less close. I don't want to be calling somebody Nutsack the whole time. I don't know which one's like linguistically correct, but my inner 13-year-old brain cannot let that comparison go, so I'm going to go forward with Netzach instead. So I guess without further ado, let's hear that one out, shall we? Ooh. Calm, cool, collected. Almost has like a Gorillaz bass line going on. Ooh. That percussion's trying to do something. Ooh, okay. Phase 2, apparently. This is way more funky than the other one. There's a slight jazziness to it. Yeah, like right there, Jesus. Crunchy note pairings, very jazzy. Funk jazz. A lot of different keyboards being used here. Okay, this one's less smooth. This has got to be phase 3. Basically add a couple extra layers and speed it up a little bit. The go-to for most battle themes. I'm not sure which one I like the most. They're all really like funky and fun in their own ways. And there's the loop. Okay, yeah, I can't really tell which one I like more. Do I like the super chill vibe of the first one or like that higher energy at the end? Okay, so for this one, definitely not the same vibe as the other song. That one was a lot more uplifting and like a happy energy to it. This one is kind of like an unbothered theme though, because that funky jazziness that's in there definitely feels like somebody who's unbothered, but more in like an aloof sort of way. Like they couldn't be bothered. They cannot be asked to care about what's going on, but like in the negative way. This really feels like a yin yang sort of thing. It's like these two characters are related in more than just being bosses, but I have no clue how true that is, of course. It's like this person is like the pessimistic side of the other person's optimism. And that just relationship is, maybe it's just because I'm listening to specifically these two back to back, but this feels like somebody like the cool uncle who gets drunk, but he's like not the best influence on the kids, but also kind of the cool uncle for that reason. Like doesn't try too hard, but also him not trying too hard is kind of the problem that the parents would have. That's the energy. He's the drunk, cool uncle. That's whoever this is. I don't know if this is a girl or a guy. I've seen the names for quite a few of them, and I've been wrong a few times assuming the genders based on the names. It's very hard with names like this to assume what the gender is, in my opinion. I think it's just because the name feels like nutsack to me that I'm just drawing that line subconsciously. But either way, this is definitely the energy I'm getting off of here. Even if it's the drunk ant vibe, it's still the same kind of thing where it's like, you know what? I don't not trust you, but I also wouldn't leave you alone with my kid for too long, you know? I really think that's where this one's sitting. This is somebody who's so aloof that they're like, yeah, whatever, don't worry about it. Nobody cares. It's almost giving me nihilistic energy, and maybe that's the whole cool uncle vibe, but also maybe the fact that it feels like that funky jazz tone that I was getting, which feels like Gorillaz to me, and a lot of their music has a similar energy to it. I don't know, this one's kind of hard to like line my opinions on because it's like, how deep do some of these go? I can never really tell. Again, I've talked about this before, that usually my like initial thoughts, my surface level feelings on these songs tend to be fairly accurate, and people are like, how'd you know? It's like, I don't know. I'm just reading the top layer here. I'm just skimming off the top. I'm really not doing much. It's the ice cream that's stuck to the lid of the tub of ice cream. Like, I'm not going deep. And usually that's just how music goes for character themes, because you want something easy to adjust for. Again, I've talked about that before, but I just always get new commenters who are like, how did you get that right? And it's like, I don't know. I just work here. I just make videos. I don't put that much brain into it most of the time. Yeah, those are my general thoughts, I guess, that these two characters specifically feel like they're related more than they would normally be. And that, again, might just be because I'm listening to them back to back. I'm getting that vibe. But truly, they feel like the opposites of each other in tone and feel. Even though they're similar, they're definitely different in how they approach things. But again, tell me if I'm wrong. One of these days, I'm going to be wrong. I keep saying, tell me if I'm wrong or right. I don't know. And my confidence is starting to like grow my head a little fatter. I want to be wrong here. Somebody please tell me I'm wrong one of these days. I just don't know and won't know until people tell me otherwise. So let me know down below if I am correct, if I'm in the ballpark. And of course, if you like this video and you want to see more of these, I have a bunch more songs coming from this exact collection of music, the battle themes and boss themes and such, that have been put into my Patreon producer queue by Pobat, especially because Pobat just keeps throwing me new ones, and we will get to them in time, of course. So if you have any specific ones you want me to get to, say them down below and I'll get to those ones first. And of course, as always, if you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for more, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!